All right, so we are moving into our next lesson. We are going to be talking about multiplying rational numbers. The objective is that by the end of this lesson, you should be able to multiply rational numbers. You should be able to identify and apply the different sign rules, and we should be able to simplify our products to their simplest form. We will convert our results to mixed numbers if needed, and we will also evaluate expressions by substituting in values. So here's how we're going to cover those items in this lesson. The first thing is we're going to be looking at our fractions, looking at our terms, and seeing if they are terminating decimals. If they're terminating decimals, then we would want to convert all of the terms into decimals if you choose to use decimals, or you can convert them into fractions if you wanted to do that. Remember, if we have repeating decimals, then it's best for us to stick to the fraction form. So we're going to do the same thing here. We are going to get a little bit better understanding, which I think we're getting there, but we're going to understand a little bit better about our product signs. So remember, we're going to see double signs or not even double signs in this one. Now you'll just see signs, and we're just going to talk about it the same way that we did in the last few lessons. So we will look at our positive and negative signs and see how they affect our product. So the thing that I want you to take away in terms of our product signs is remember, two of a kind is always going to be positive. And if we have a mix of negative and positive, so an odd number, then it is going to be a negative product. We're going to work with mixed numbers. We're going to work with improper fractions. We're going to convert those mixed numbers into improper fractions. That is going to make our multiplication easier. We're going to talk about simplifying by using common factors. So before we start to multiply our fractions, what we want to do is practice dividing by common factors. And we'll see some examples of those when we work through the problems. But what it does is it helps to keep our work manageable and efficient when we work it out. All right. And then in terms of simplifying and converting our results, after we find our product, we definitely want to make sure that we give it in its simplified form if we are talking about fractions. If necessary, we want to make sure that our improper fractions are converted back into mixed numbers. That just makes it where it's clear and it looks the way that it should. So remember, a fraction is supposed to tell us about one item being cut up into pieces. So if we have a numerator that is greater than our denominator, we want to pull those whole numbers out. That means a whole number is in there. And then finally, we're going to talk about what I think is most important in any of our lessons is how does it apply in the real world? So we're going to see how we can apply these skills, to different situations that we may experience around us, so that we can evaluate expressions. We're going to use variables, so we'll evaluate expressions and fill them in with variables by substituting in provided values that will be given to us. That will help us to solve real world problems. And so it's just going to make you better all the way around. So each of the steps that we work on, remember, we're going to practice. It's going to be super important for you to take notes and practice, 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 because the more that you practice, the better you'll get in terms of multiplying rational numbers. So let's go ahead and get started.